Hello, everybody. How are you? Go ahead and unmute yourself so we can all say hi to each other real quick.
Hi, Shanna.
Hi, how are you guys? Can everybody hear me
Hi.
okay?
Doing good.
Yes. Oh, I have my volume muted, so I can't hear you. Okay. Yes, I am recording. Thank you, Bede. I love it. Wait, I want to take a picture of that. Hold on.
Okay,
Hold on again, because that's the cutest thing ever. Hold on. Beautiful. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Just real quick too, if you ever don't see the link or whatever, because I have all of you guys copied and pasted to send these links, so there's never really a chance of someone being missed. So if you don't see it, always check your spam folder. The emails are going to start coming from Shanna at shannastar.com. I'm doing everything through my website now because I needed a lot more organization since things are coming up a lot more. So always check your spam folder because I always end these Zooms and I open my phone and I have a ton of messages saying I didn't get the link. But I've already started this and I put my phone away because I don't want to be distracted. So I don't want you to get, caught up in not receiving the link and me not responding until after the Zoom. Anywho, okay. So go ahead and mute yourselves and then we're gonna get started. And let's see. Let me know, kind of wave me down if you ever see Mike Love join, because I also want to highlight something about him quick too. Okay, so go ahead and mute yourselves. I hear a lot of background noise somewhere. Camera, can you mute yourself? Yeah. Thank you. Thanks guys for joining. It's good to see y'all. I'll mute you. I got it. I'll mute you. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. So this one is going to be about memories and the subconscious mind. This is so important because what hasn't been talked about, what hasn't even been discovered scientifically, and science has discovered a lot of things, they just don't know how to put logic behind it. But what still hasn't been realized, spoken about, or addressed is that memories are the foundation of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the foundation of every thought and decision you make based on the perception you hold of yourself. The perception you hold of yourself is created from the memories that you keep. And so basically, your memories is what is creating your current reality. So the past, a non-existent time, is directing the only present time that is real life. And that's why so many people keep repeating cycles, no matter how much work, quote unquote, you actually do. If you're not consciously choosing, that's a key word, is consciously choosing to release these memories and release these old parts of you, release these old definitions of yourself. If you're not consciously making that decision, you can do all the spiritual work that you want to, but you will always find yourself in a battlefield of the mind of still having to choose positive over negative because you haven't addressed the actual root of that subconscious that is the memories. So this is very important for humanity to know so that we can move forward by changing the very perception of ourselves by letting go of those memories. When we have a new perception of ourselves and create a new space by letting go of old memories, we're now creating new timelines on this earth, new futures, new possible futures that Earth has never seen before. Because all that's been happening this whole time is Earth keeps recreating history over and over again because nobody's choosing to let go of those memories. You know, history is a job. There's historians that sit here and focus on history. Mother Earth and creation is asking us now to let go of the need to know history, to allow yourself to become new, because that is the only way that we are going to create new possibilities for the future. This is a really exciting meeting. I like this one a lot. Okay, so this one is called Memories and the Subconscious Mind. The human brain, and I've spoken about this already in the sex workshop. I spoke about this. The human brain will remove traumatic events from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind to protect the human being. The subconscious mind is built upon traumatic memories. The subconscious is the foundation of the human being's thoughts and actions. So your thoughts and decisions now in the present time are based upon subconscious traumatic memories. The soul has a perfect divine timing when it's ready to address these traumas. This should not be forced through plant medicine or hypnotism, as that forcing would place more trauma upon the soul that is not ready to do this work. So when you subconsciously, oh, okay, I see Mike has joined. I'm gonna talk about Mike. Stay on here, Mike, because I'm gonna talk about you in sometime during this. So when we're forcing ourselves to remember past lives and all of these things, we are bringing more trauma to ourselves, more trauma to our soul, because our soul, the core of our existence, that is energy. We have a perfect divine timing in which we're supposed to realize things and acknowledge things. And when we manipulate that timing by force of plant medicine and hypnotism, you are now manipulating the soul's divine ability to grow. So you're actually doing yourself a great disservice by forcing yourself to remember things that the soul is not ready to remember. So the mind and soul will converge in healing at its own divine perfect timing if the human being allows it. This calls for patience with yourself. This calls for the remembrance that there is no final destination you're trying to rush to, but rather every minute of the day is the journey. And when you experience that in its fullness and understand every reason for it, that is a beautiful journey. And that's when you start enjoying life through what's perceived as good and bad. Nothing is ever bad. It's always necessary for you to grow. That is the beautiful journey that this is. This doesn't have to be hard if we don't perceive it, if we don't perceive letting go of things as hard. So core memories, lots of people want to speak about core memories and the inner child and these things. But one thing that needs to be acknowledged is that core memories aren't always consciously remembered, but remain part of the human being because they are in the subconscious. Memories of past lives can affect the present life. Genuine healing can only begin at the level of conscious core memories, but can only evolve through the remembrance of subconscious traumatic memories. So memories of past lives can affect your present life because it is still you. You are a beam of energy. You are a linear being at your core. And your current life is a reflection of all past lives that you've lived. So addressing core memories is the very, very tiny tip of the iceberg in comparison to the memories that we have to address to really, really transform the foundation we exist. So healing can only begin at the level of conscious core memories. That's where we start. But when we start allowing ourselves to naturally, divinely receive memories of our past lives, that's when we can genuinely evolve in understanding why we feel some ways about ourselves, why we think some ways about ourselves, why we act some ways. A lot of it has to do with past lives. So sometimes you're like, I don't understand why I feel this way or think this way. I have no memory of anything that suggests I should feel this way. Well, that's because you're only addressing memories of this life, or you're only addressing core memories that you consciously remember. Your soul wants to reveal to you the subconscious memories of past life, and those will be revealed to you through dreams, through visions, what's taught to us as quote unquote the imagination. The imagination is a glimpse into memories of past lives you've lived. And sometimes these lives will not only be on Earth, you'll see yourself as some superhero in another dimension, in another planet, like saving that planet. This is real. This is a real depiction of one of your energetic past lives. Remember, physical life is only existent on Earth. The human brain has to put physical definition to energetic occurrences because that's how limited we've been taught to think. We've been taught to only perceive things as physical. So when you're having a dream that you're this physical being saving Earth or other planets, this is a real remembrance of a past life of yours. I'll share with you some of my past lives. There was one where I was a queen, I was with a king, and he always slept with other women. He physically abused me. I got very angry, and one time, and then finally I snapped and I murdered him. So then they took me and they put me in this dungeon to die, basically. They put me down there. They didn't feed me. They put me just down there to die. And I was like, at the time when I received that dream, immediately my relationships came to my mind. And I was like, no wonder I keep attracting men that kind of treat me the same way, but not so like extreme. And then also I feel like I had to control things to protect myself. And it came from this past life. So this is very, very important for you to really understand the infinity of your existence and how much this physical life is affected by things you won't consciously remember, but your soul will reveal them subconsciously when you allow yourself silence, you allow yourself space, and you allow yourself to really believe what you're being shown. Because if you don't believe what you're being shown, your highest self will say, oh, they're not ready, so I'll stop showing. I highly recommend writing down what you're shown, because when you take physical action on what you are energetically receiving, your highest self sees that you're interested in receiving more. This is how we heal. This is how we evolve. We have to take action. You can't just sit there and say you're evolving without actually doing anything to evolve. I'm moving to the second page so I can say hi to people. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. Okay. Let's see. So if the subconscious is the creator of your reality and memories are the foundation of the subconscious mind, it is memories that are the true creator of your reality. To create a new reality, old memories must be let go. That's hard for some people, right? I reached a point in my life where it wasn't hard at all. I said, I want to become new. I don't care if that means I forget everything I've ever been. And that's evolution, really. So if memories are the foundation of the subconscious, then they are also the foundation of the perception you hold of yourself. So science has already figured out that perception creates reality. Like, they know that, but they don't know where perception comes from. And this is the answer. This is what I've been shown. I go really deep into this in Love Part 5, like really deep, and the things that I don't touch on here, because this isn't published yet. So I don't want people to access things that haven't been spoken yet, and then, write it as theirs until I publish Part 5 and it's copyrighted. But I'm going to touch on a lot anyways. So what people aren't realizing is that perception of yourself is created by memories. The root of the collective reality that humanity is experiencing is the combined perception of self that every human being holds. Perception of self is created in childhood based on one's visual, auditory, and haptic experiences, good and bad. So visual experiences, for example, did you witness violence? If you witnessed violence, I witnessed violence. So this gave me a perception of the world, like hopelessness in the world, a lack of civilization. I remember I used to look around and wonder why people acted like animals, like we didn't have to, and I know other people too who have expressed the sadness that it brought, the lack of empathy and compassion, because that's what they've seen, and emotions are coming because how I was, for me personally, I'll speak about myself, is this kind of created a space in me that said, well, if I want to bring about the outcome that I want, I'm going to have to force this upon people with either threats or just in ugly ways, right? So it creates a lack of compassion and a lack of empathy, which is so far from who I actually ever have been. So it's these memories, these visual memories, that created this whole subconscious foundation, that created a person to take actions that I wasn't, a person that I wasn't to take actions that I would have never taken if I didn't have these memories. So, oh, I didn't wear any makeup, so I can just wipe like this. Okay, so the next one, visual experiences, visual memories. Did you witness sexual immorality? This can make your perception of self shameful. Um, I can speak again for another personal experience that I didn't forget for like the rest of my life, that really made me feel weird, was that one time I went to go put in my cartoons. Like I had, well, those of us that are of this age, we had VCRs. And so I had recorded cartoons that I watched all the time, like Care Bears and Rainbow Bright and all this, right? And I went to go, it was the only tape that was always in the VCR. So I just always went and pushed play, and there was my cartoons. I was very small. And so one time I pushed play, and then all of a sudden porn was playing. Like, it made me feel gross, like, to see it, because there was only one person in the house at that time that it could have been. And so that like grossed me out. And yeah, and it really gave me this like awkward feeling about sex, and this like, I felt ashamed that I seen it. And so this is a visual experience that created these perceptions of sex, which is the foundation of our creativity. So, it's these little things that we don't really acknowledge that have really, really shaped our reality. And it's time to let them go. This is how important it is. Did you witness manipulation and deceit? If you witnessed manipulation and deceit, if you've seen your parents lying to people, you've seen your parents finagling people, or, just gaming people, whatever you want to call it, this can create a perception of distrust in others. This can really make you just not trust people, because you figure if you can't trust the people in your life that were supposed to be leading you and guiding you, then who can you trust? So then this creates a perception of lack of trust in people, which radiates from the inside as a lack of trust in yourself. This is when you stop trusting yourself as a child, is when you learn that you can't trust other people. These memories have created the way that you look at the world, ultimately the way you look at yourself. Auditory experiences. How were you spoken to? How it created your perception of how you deserve to be spoken to. So how you were spoken to directly affects the level of self-worth that you feel, the level of belief in yourself that you have, the level of faith in yourself, and how important you are. How you're spoken to really can tell you how somebody feels about you without them having to say how they feel about you. This is why we can't take words for truth. We have to listen to actions and energy, because someone can say, I love you, but then turn around and speak to you like you don't mean anything on this earth. That's not love. And as children, we understand that words don't mean anything. We understand that energy is our primary source of communication. So when we're spoken to a certain way, it's creating a perception of ourselves that we deserve to be spoken to that way, that we are not important enough to be spoken to well. And all of these memories is what's creating how you perceive yourself now, which has created who you attract to your life, which has created your own reality. Auditory experiences. How did others speak about you? So a lot of times parents, if you're a parent, you know that sometimes people joke about their kids like, oh, she's bad, or he's bad, or oh, he's annoying, or he's always in the business, or, we sometimes, I can personally say I never talk about my son like that, because for some reason I always kind of understood this, and it was done to me. So I always raised my son, I said I would raise him how I wish I was raised or treated, right? So when you hear conversations as a child, and you're being called certain things, you're being spoken about to other people in certain ways, again, this creates your perception of who you are as a child. This, again, affects your self-worth, your importance in the world. It's very deep, and it is these memories of these moments that are subconscious, because we consciously let them go because we have to make space for new memories, but they're in our subconscious. And this is what's creating our perception of ourselves. That's creating our reality. Auditory. How did you hear others communicate with each other? This created the perception of how to get your point across. this would lay the foundation of how you communicate with others. Did you see yelling as a form of communication? Did you see force as a form of communication? Parents like to say, do as I say, not as I do. Or do this, and you ask why, and they say, because I said so, because I'm the parent. These type of things, again, create the perception of yourself that says your thoughts and ideas and feelings about these situations aren't important. Because if someone can simply take your power away by saying, because I said so, that would weaken your self-belief, that would weaken your self-importance, that would weaken your, I can't find this word, that it's a very simple common word. But yeah, this would, insecurities, this would create insecurity within you. Because if somebody tells you, no, you do this because I said so, this is already taking away your power of choice and your power of expression, expressing your feelings, how you feel about these things. Again, these memories creating your perception of yourself. And these are all things that aren't really spoken about. Who sits there and says, oh, well, how did I hear other people talk? How did I hear my household communicate? How did I hear, we always want to go very superficial. How was I made to feel? How was this and that? But we really have to look at our environment and the memories we have of our complete environment as a child. These memories is what has created your perception of yourself and how you fit into this world. Everybody good? Everybody still with me? Yeah? All right, cool. Haptic experiences. So haptic means touch. So I didn't want to put like touch experiences. That sounds weird. So haptic experiences, memories. Were you touched inappropriately? If so, this will create the perception of yourself as ashamed, guilty, low self-worth, deserving of disrespect, creating no self-respect because you feel like you're not deserving of it. And it is these memories that we have to really dig into instead of just the superficial and the obvious. The answers, always the answers to healing and the answers we're looking for are never going to be the first superficial answer. That superficial answer opens the door, yes. But it is when you walk through that superficial answer to look deeper into the perception of yourself that you will start remembering these little things that you thought were maybe just normal. Because this is how our families acted. This is how, things that happened and just, it wasn't a big deal. And it is those very things that are the depths of what created your perception of yourself, which is what has brought us so far away from ourselves. So were you physically abused? This is going to bring anger, resentment, and a broken heart. A broken heart, children's hearts are broken so young in life. As soon as the parent demonstrates anything other than genuine divine love. Unfortunately, because we were never taught that until this point now, we didn't know how to genuinely express that. And so this created, again, memories of anger and resentment and heartbreak. And that now has laid your subconscious foundation of perceiving yourself as, again, not trusting anybody, anger as your defense to protect you from being hurt by people again. Resentment, that is unable to forgive. You're not realizing that when you resent somebody, you're actually bringing murder upon your own soul. Your resentment towards somebody else isn't going to hurt them. It is going to hurt you because everything that you give to others, you are giving to yourself. So whatever you give, you will receive towards yourself, not from other people even, but you will resent yourself. You will judge yourself when you resent somebody else. That resentment can come from these memories of physical abuse or just any mental abuse, emotional abuse, any abuse. Okay, so then next I have physical memories. Physical memories. We can only be given, oh, listen to this. I have an itch in my nose. Sorry, guys, I'm not picking my nose, but I'm scratching it. Okay. We can only be given more memory of our past existence by letting go of the physical memories of this lifetime. So if you're really, truly wanting to break free, this is work, guys. This is a journey that requires work. And the only way that you are going to receive these memories of your past lives and past existence naturally in a divine time without forcing it is when you let go of the physical memories of this lifetime, because the two can't coexist, kind of like love and fear can't coexist. Old memories cannot coexist and leave space for new memories. Old memories can't coexist and leave space for you to be shown past versions of yourself that didn't even exist in this lifetime. You know, like letting go of the present physical memories that we hold is the open door to becoming new. That's how important it is. The only way to genuinely become new without forcing it, without pretending like you're new, is to let go of these memories that have created the current version of yourself. They must be let go. Painful memories. Oh, sorry, I missed that little headline. Painful memories. Painful memories must be let go because pain becomes fear's power. This is important. Pain becomes fear's power. Anytime you are holding on to a painful memory or allowing a painful memory to exist as part of the definition of you, you are allowing fear's power over you. And it's very easy to lie to ourselves and be like, yeah, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But when you sit with yourself and when you lay down at night by yourself, no matter who you're surrounded by, you're always going to be by yourself because nobody else can get in here. Pain will become fear's power. It is very important for you to let these painful memories go. If you do not, fear will overpower you. And it's, again, your choice to allow fear to overpower you by choosing not to let go of the pain. Fear feeds off. See, this is some crazy stuff that I'd be tapping in my phone in the middle of the night. Fear feeds off of every good feeling and every happy moment until the source is left only with negative, giving fear more power. So you can have happy moments and you can choose happy and choose positivity. But if your subconscious is still operating from the memories that you're not letting go, fear will feed off of that happiness, feed off of that joy until you are left with nothing but the negative again. And then you'll sit there and wonder, why am I feeling like this again? I made so much progress. You made so much progress consciously, but you haven't progressed subconsciously because you haven't let go of conscious memories. Very important stuff here. Let's see. Yeah, so
Can you,
a vicious.
I know you're flowing. Can you, when you say let go of memories, can you like give an example of what that looks like?
It's literally a choice. You say, I do not want this to be the
Memory doesn't
definition.
exist.
Yeah, it's past. The present is the only realistic time. Memories are from a past time. So when you look at it like allowing a non-existent time to direct the only realistic time, you will see how easy it actually is to let go of that non-existent time.
Yeah, I like that
Yeah,
framework.
and it was just a choice. I can attest to it because it's what I did. I said, I want to wipe my slate completely clean. So that means I have to let go of everything I currently think I am, which means letting go of everything I was told to be by how I was treated, what I seen, what I heard, and what I felt. It's all a choice. So some people might say, well, it's hard. It's not hard if you're ready. If you're tired of doing what you're doing right now, it's not hard at all. That was a great question. Thank you. Where was I? Okay, so it's important to let memories go because darkness feeds off of your attachment to the past. Attachment, remember, love is not attachment. So if you are attached to a past time, you are opening a door for darkness to exist. And remember, whenever I say darkness or evil, those two words are just simply other ways of saying fear, the energy of fear. That's all that those things are, which means they can both be transformed. Attachment is suffering. So to remain attached to a non-existent time is to guarantee that you will never genuinely break free from suffering. Again, we can pretend to, but if you want to genuinely do this work, you have to detach from these memories by simply choosing to, allowing yourself to become a blank space. Refusing to let go of memories creates suffering where it does not naturally exist by remaining attached to a time that doesn't exist. Same thing, like I just said, this suffering is a choice at this point because it wouldn't naturally exist. We are choosing to keep the things in our space that keeps the foundation where suffering can thrive. So the past is a non-existent time. If we detach from it, we also detach from the energetic suffering that comes with it. Refusing to let go, I just read that. Memories create suffering because the memory itself is painful for two reasons. Memories create suffering for two different reasons. One, because the memory itself is painful or traumatic. Two, it's the sadness that things aren't the same as a past time. So it's not necessarily just bad memories that are bad to hold on to. It's also a negative thing to remain attached and hold on to good memories, because what these good memories do is keeps you craving to feel that way again. Now, I'm not saying, oh, just drop everything, like allow yourself to do this within yourself, do this individually. Just let go of what you feel really you need to let go of, keep what you feel like you need to keep. Really trust yourself in this. There's no rules in this. I'm not saying like, boom, forget everything you ever felt. No, listen to yourself. But even remaining attached to the good memories also keeps us in a space of subconsciously craving to feel that way again. And so a lot of our decisions, our plans, our actions, our thoughts are based upon us trying to recreate this feeling again because it was so good, which you can never. I speak about this in the end of the meeting. It's really cool. It's energetically impossible to create a feeling again for multiple reasons. You are no longer that person. Your energy is no longer at that frequency. And the present moment is the only thing that's real. So you can never feel what you felt in a past moment ever again, ever. There's always a first time, and you can never recreate that first time. Every minute of every moment is the first time. So right now, this is the first time we are having this conversation. I can never recreate it. That's why I always encourage people, like, come when I have them, because I can talk about the conversation again, but it will never be like this. It will never have this energy that we have right now, because tomorrow we'll be in a different energy. I will be, you will be, etc. So, where did I? Oh yeah. So even the good memories can also have a negative effect, because it can keep you subconsciously trying to recreate those good memories. I see a lot of people actually do that and speak about, oh, the good times, especially my generation. We grew up, before cell phones. So we were always with our cousins and like running around and like always at the grandparents' house and just very free, doing whatever we want. And then I hear people always say, oh, well, the good old days when that was. Now our kids don't even know who their cousins are. And a lot of people will try to recreate that and have like gatherings and stuff, but it's not the same. And then there's disappointment when people don't show up. Oh, well, we don't get together like we used to. Well, because we're not supposed to. This is a different time. We're not supposed to get together like we used to. Getting together like we used to didn't ever address the traumas or heal us. So why should we be doing that now? You see what I'm saying? So even the good memories, if you find yourself really striving to feel a certain way again, let that memory actually go. So you can make space for a new memory to strive to feel. You can create space for a new way to feel in a new time, a new day, a new frequency. It's beautiful when you live life this way. Let's see, memories of lost loved ones. This one is really big. Memories of lost loved ones. When people physically transform from this life, they do not end. They are not dead, because energy doesn't die. That is first and foremost. That is something a lot of people are starting to understand now, but it really, really has to be understood on a very, very deep level. When a person leaves this earth, they don't go join other people who have left this earth in a physical manner. Like when people say, oh, tell grandpa I said hi, if somebody passed away, they're like, oh, tell grandma I said hi, give grandpa a hug for me. That's not real. That's not how this works at all. Earth is the only place where we have physicalities, where we have physical definitions of physical appearance, of physical density. This is the only place. As soon as we leave here, everything is just energy again, period. So there is no going and seeing grandma or grandpa again. There is simply becoming who you already were again, because now you left this earth to do that. So when we understand that as soon as they leave this earth, the physical definition of them is also no longer real. They are real. The core of their existence is real. Their energy is very real and will remain very present if you allow it to, and will affect you and help guide you and speak to you and help heal you if you allow yourself to perceive them in more than a physical way. So physical memories, holding on to physical memories of lost loved ones will really keep you in an illusion of the truth, a fantasy of what you picture heaven to be and what you picture an afterlife to be. None of it is physical. Earth is the only, this is what I've been shown over and over again since the beginning of my journey, is Earth is the only place where physical beings exist. And to hold on to a physical perception of someone who left this earth is to hold on to something that doesn't exist. So it's like, why would we allow ourselves to create a reality based upon a feeling towards something that is non-existent? I have this window open and it's really making my nose itch. Sorry guys, I keep like messing with my nose. So to hold on to the physical memory of a lost loved one in the energy of pain and suffering is to hold their energy prisoner to this physical life instead of allowing them to be free. So this is also very important and also shines light upon how kind of selfish it is of us to hold on to them and to not find peace in the truth of their passing. Because as long as we are not at peace in their passing, we are keeping them from rising as valiantly as they are able to in their energy, because everything is energy. So if we're holding on to a physical definition of them, we are holding their energy still. We are still keeping attachment to part of their energy, not allowing them to be free. When you understand that truth, it's very selfish. It is a very selfish thing for us to do. I don't want to leave this earth, but not be able to truly leave this earth because someone on earth doesn't want to let go of me. That, like, I would be mad. I'd be like, let me go. and that's really what they're saying is, let me go. Let me be free so that I can help you from a higher place, from an energetic place. I can speak all of this again. This is what I did with Kyle. I knew the truth. So I knew he was going to pass and I knew what was going to come with it. But I was also shown what I had to do. I was shown very clearly that once he left Earth, I had to, that physical part of me that existed with him and the energetic part of me that existed with him had to die with his physical presence. So I had to also mourn my own death in mourning his death, meaning the death of that part of me, that version of me that existed when he existed. I had to allow that part of me to die. That is the only way that I could allow him to be himself again. And wow, in doing that, such a beautiful relationship I have with Kyle. And many people who have been around me physically or who know me personally, they see how prominent Kyle's presence is in my life, like all the time. There's always signs. His name is always being called. You'll see his name spray painted on. At one time we were driving in Texas and there was a big old wall that just said Kyle. Like, why does it say Kyle on a big old wall in the middle of Texas? You know, just, and there's always some way that he's showing me like, I'm still there. And that's super cool. So that makes me not sad that he's not physically here, because the physical part of him was not the best part of him. That wasn't the best version of him. And in a dream one time, he asked me very clearly to let go of everything I knew about him physically, because that was the worst part of him, was exactly what was being shown to me. He even said in that dream too, he said, there were things that you didn't even know about me that if you knew, you really wouldn't like think I was as good of a person as I was. And so I was like, well, show me what those things were. And I had for like a couple of weeks, I had like a couple of dreams a week of showing me things that he did. That was actually kind of like when we were together, I was thinking he was doing those things, but I could never prove it. So when those exact things came up in these dreams, I was like, oh, I kind of knew that already. But yeah, it's very important to let go of the physical definition of them, because it is not them, and it's not allowing them to genuinely be free. And that's a very selfish thing to do. I don't want to keep anyone from really rising to the source of creation. I want to allow everybody who passes to be free from this earth and from its low frequencies. And the only way to do that is to let go of their physical definition of themselves. To hold on to physical memory, okay, I just said that, keeping them from being free. It's also keeping you from living in the present, which is life itself, and the only place your power of love can be embraced. So you genuinely can never actually possess the energy of love that is really you, the energy of creation and everything beautiful that comes with it. You can never actually experience that if you aren't living in the present by letting go of the past. Letting go of the past is a must if you want to genuinely experience love. Again, we can lie to ourselves and say, I'm love. But if you are not letting go of the past, you are not actually experiencing love. You're wanting to, but you're not, because you haven't let go of this non-existent time. You have to let go of the non-existent to experience the present, the realistic. Most try to honor their past loved ones by carrying the memory of their physical presence. In this memory brings pain and suffering to one's life. It is not honoring their past loved one at all. Again, because if you're bringing pain and suffering to yourself while holding on to these memories to try to honor their physical presence, you are keeping pain and suffering on earth, which is opposite of what we're here to do, number one, but also keeping them from reigning from a bigger place to send love through you. Remember, you're a human vessel, you're a conduit, you're a straw. So your past loved ones can actually send the energy of creation through you if you let go of their physical presence. So it's a really beautiful thing. I'm telling you guys, it's amazing. And then I have written down here, if it doesn't bring you joy, let it go. There is no honor in suffering. There's no honor in suffering. Another thing we've been taught is, one that suffers and fights through it is the strong one and is valiant, and we should honor that person for fighting through what they've been through. But no, there is no honor in suffering. A truly strong person would have the strength to detach from what no longer exists, so that we can allow the source of creation to flow through us to bring what really exists to earth. Amazing, amazing stuff here. People who pass, we can look at them like saviors to us. If we allow ourselves to let go of their physical presence, they are saviors to our soul. Okay, I'll go ahead and take a couple questions right now. So let's see. Amber, go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, how do I know I'm letting go of a memory and not just blocking it? Because I have such a good I can detach from everything now, and I can feel it and detach from it. But my concern is, am I blocking it or am I letting it go? And how do I know the difference?
Well, you can be able to tell by the reality that you're living. Is your reality actually changing? Is your internal peace actually changing? Are your everyday thoughts and actions actually changing naturally without you having to force that change? If so, then you're letting go.
Yeah.
But if you are having to force and you're in this constant battlefield of your mind and all this, then that's just blocking.
Right.
Yeah. So your reality will always show you the truth if you're letting go, if you're genuinely letting go, or if you're just pretending to let go or just blocking something and not addressing it.
I think that comes from concern of we have these blocked memories that we have to activate, right? We have to activate some of the block memories.
Well, that's what I was talking about kind of in the beginning. The activation, you don't have to do anything to activate it. You have to release the conscious memories so that the subconscious memories have safe space to emerge.
Right.
This is just again, the activation is love for yourself, choosing yourself. when
Yeah.
you choose what brings you joy and let go of what doesn't, this is the act of letting go of the conscious things so that the subconscious can reveal itself.
I feel like I have done so much work that then it's like I'm looking for work that probably doesn't even need to be done.
Yeah, you have to have faith in yourself. You have to stop doubting yourself that you've
Right.
actually accomplished change. And you have
Right.
to have faith in yourself that the work you are doing and have done has created a new version of you, and stop trying to work.
Yeah. Fix everything.
The work ends. There is a point where you are healed.
Yes.
There is a point to claim healed, but you can never reach that point if you're always doubting the work you're doing to heal.
Right.
So really have faith. Yeah, have faith in yourself, and your ego will always show where work still needs to be done. So if that's not coming up, then that means you've done it, and that means enjoy life. Keep choosing you, and new things are going to come that aren't work, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Go ahead, Bernice. Oh, unmute yourself. Okay,
Oh,
there you
sorry. Okay. So how can we tell that we let go of, like, our past, our loved ones that passed? How can we tell we let go of their physical presence? Like, how do we tell? I mean,
Well, really ask yourself, how do you talk about them? How do you perceive them? Do you still have anger with things that occurred in the physical life? If so, then that's not letting go yet of their physical presence. Do you find suffering in their physical absence? If so, then that's not letting go of their physical presence. So
okay.
these type of things. So if you find peace, if you don't feel a suffering or a pain or anything in their physical absence, then you've let go of that physical part of them. If you also find peace with them and whatever relationship existed in the physical life, then you've let go of their physical presence.
Okay. One more question. What's the best advice I can give someone that doesn't believe? Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure
You can't
yeah.
give advice to somebody who doesn't believe.
Okay.
We're here to speak to the ones who want to change. You can waste your breath and talk till you're blue in the face and speak the truth, but they'll never receive it until they want to.
Okay.
So this is where you just allow people to choose what they want to choose.
Okay. Thank you for your
You're very
answer.
welcome. I thought I seen somebody else's hand up, but I don't see it anymore. So we're gonna move on. Anybody else? No? Okay. Okay, so let's move on then. Where were we? Oh, okay. The best way to honor the one who no longer physically exists is to live and physically exist yourself in the present, because they no longer have the choice to. So what a beautiful way that I am honoring Kyle, my dad, my grandpa, by doing what they can't do. Like it's a beautiful thing. These are like beautiful tears because it feels so good to know that I am not letting their death be in vain, because I am living life to my fullest capability, my fullest abilities in every present moment I'm living. That's how I'm honoring them, by doing what they cannot. That's true honor, not by sitting and suffering in their absence, but by doing what they cannot. Because if they were still here, you would want them to live life to their fullest as well, right? Yes. Okay. Okay, there's the hand. Let's see. Go ahead, Grace. Unmute yourself. Hi.
I wanted to ask you, hi, how are you?
Good.
How do you let go when the one that you lost is one of your children?
So we have to remember that our children are like us. They came to earth with a purpose, with a mission, and with a plan that was always created for them. Sometimes, because remember, awakening can only occur when there's a break in the heart. When there's a bottom reached and a break in the heart is the only time light can shine in. Because if a heart remains comfortable, there's no seeking of anything else because it's comfortable, right? So the only time that a human being would be forced to, or the only time a human being would choose to seek more is when they felt pain, disappointment in life itself. Then you have to look around and say, well, this can't be real life, so let me seek more. So what I'm seeing for you is a child that was lost came with that purpose and never came to this earth to live a full life, but rather came to save you. Came to save you by creating that space where you would seek more in life. It's a beautiful thing. I'm gonna cry for it because it's a really beautiful thing to think that we are so protected here and we are so important that other human beings come to this earth simply with the purpose of saving us. You are so powerful that your salvation would bring such a grand presence of salvation to earth. So your awakening is important, which means that a soul chose to say, well, I want to be the source of her awakening. And that's, different cases vary, but that's what I'm being shown is your answer. So knowing that,
Okay, because I have my daughter in my bedroom. I have her little urn, her baby urn.
uh-huh,
And somebody had told me a while back too that I needed to let her go so she can come back.
yes. And you need to let her go. So yeah, she can really rise to the source of creation and speak to you and through you. And yes, it's very big. Let her go. Take her to your favorite place and let her go. Your life will change after you do that. If you do it when your time is ready, when you feel like, okay, your soul is going to speak to you, and all of a sudden you're going to wake up one day and say, it's time. When that moment comes, don't fight it. Because when that moment comes, that means that her purpose in your life will finally be served because it hasn't been served yet. So now if you're allowing her to serve her purpose, now you allow her a chance to come back. This is how important this is. And let go of the memories of what could have been if she, was still here, how old she would have been, what she would have done. Let go of all that because none of it was ever the reason for her being here.
I know because I have this other girl that was pregnant. Her daughter was born the same month my daughter was supposed to be born. And every time I see her, it reminds me of Zinnia.
Uh-huh. Oh, what a pretty name.
But it also like I can't get rid of all that guilt because when I got pregnant from her,
Mhm.
I didn't want her.
Let the guilt go. Let it go. You want to know why you didn't want her? That was the ego trying to prevent a source of your salvation from being accepted. Let the guilt go. Time.
She was 5 months old. Just her heart stopped beating.
Yeah. Let go of the
And
guilt.
I kind of felt like she felt that she wasn't wanted.
Yeah.
She was. I love her so much.
Yeah. She didn't feel that. She didn't feel not wanted. She really came with no intention of staying longer than that. So you have to let go of that guilt. What you're doing is you're placing guilt on you of something that's not even the truth. It's not even real. So she wants me to tell you that is that she never felt unwanted. She wants you to know that she only came for that purpose. And this is the moment that you, like I said, if you choose to let go of this and let go of her and let go of the guilt, you're allowing her to serve her purpose. And what more beautiful way to honor her than to do that? And if
Thank you.
if you feel like you want to do it in the next couple of weeks while I'm in California, reach out to me and I'll go with you.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Grace.
Now
Thank you for sharing this.
another thing.
Yeah.
I had another thing. Like all this week I've been doing that. I want to remember because I don't remember a lot of my childhood.
Mhm.
And I've been having like this really weird dreams.
Yeah.
And some of them are like fantasy dreams.
Mhm.
So like I'm
Those
confused. Like,
those fantasy ones are the ones that I was talking about, your past lives being revealed to you. That's what those are. Those are real things you've experienced. And this is actually great that you're receiving those even before your childhood, because you're really unlocking the foundation of the subconscious, the reasons why you think and feel certain ways about yourself. Write those ones down, the ones that don't make any sense and they seem like, oh, that can't be real. They're absolutely real. They're a part of your existence. That's why you're seeing them. So write them down. You don't have to know
okay.
why you're having them, but write them down and more is going to come. And eventually you will be able to correlate it with your current perception of yourself and the reason why you are certain ways in this lifetime, which will then help you transform those ways. It's beautiful.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Always nice to have a good crime. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so you cannot honor someone by carrying the burden of their absence in pain. They cannot be free until you are alive in the present moment. That's beautiful stuff. You must let go of the physical memory of the lost loved ones. If their pictures bring you pain, get rid of the pictures. This was one of the hardest things for me to do, but my soul told me that I had to do it pertaining to Kyle. I had hundreds of pictures of us and videos, and we did a lot in our relationship together. And little by little, when my heart said, Shanna, get rid of pictures, I would go into my computer, I would go into my phone, go into my computer, delete, some at a time, where eventually I had none. I got rid of all of them. Then somehow they would pop up like in my cloud or on a hard drive. They just kept popping up in certain places. And I would look at it like, okay, well, let me keep this one. Let me save this one just to have, not to dwell in it. Or, letting go of the pictures brought peace to me to such a point where now I could have pictures without sitting and dwelling and suffering when looking at them or having them in my presence. So if a picture brings you pain, get rid of the picture. That's really how easy this life is, and we make it hard because we don't want to let go. We think we're dishonoring or we're not being loyal, or man, let all of that go. It's really that simple, that if something is giving you pain or making your life painful or keeping suffering alive, let that something go. Get rid of that something, even if it's a physical picture. I had to also get rid of pictures of my dad to let that go. And then now I receive pictures of him and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Now it's a more peaceful, it's a detached from his physical presence type of feeling where now I can feel him other ways, So if their pictures bring you pain, get rid of the pictures. Get rid of their belongings because they carry the energy of a non-existent time. Even holding on to belongings from people will keep the energy of their physical existence alive, again, not allowing them to truly be free. If there's like one little thing that you want to keep, then cool. But if your soul speaks to you and says, get rid of it, you have to listen. I'll let you know what I've done. Kyle gave me a stopwatch that was his great grandfather's. It was a beautiful stopwatch. And I took it with me like everywhere. I took it with me to Indonesia, I took it with me to Mexico. And in Mexico, it did like great things. Every time I would pull it out and show the kids at the detention center in Mexico, it was like they would start crying. And I wouldn't even tell them anything about Kyle yet, but I would pull this out and they would start crying and be like, there's so much emotion with this and all of this. And then I was able to share things with them. And then because Kyle overdosed and a lot of these kids did drugs. So like his story helped them a lot. And I helped them a lot with his story, saying like, it's not worth it. It's easier to be who you really are than it is to kill yourself with drugs. And so he really helped in Mexico with that stopwatch. But then when I got back to California, it was so heavy on my heart that he was like, get rid of the stopwatch. And I was like, no, it's a beautiful watch. It was so pretty. Like I didn't want to get rid of it because it was pretty and it was his. And it was just playing over and over. Like, you're not going to find peace until you get rid of the stopwatch. Like, you're never going to stop thinking about the stopwatch until you get rid of the stopwatch. And it's time, it served its purpose and you have to get rid of it. So one night I went with my aunt and her husband into like some bar in the middle of nowhere so that I could drive them home. And they're all inside partying. And I walked outside. So I'm like in the middle of the desert and it's nighttime, it's pitch black. And then it was like, and I had the stopwatch with me and it was like, yeah, it's here. Let it go here. So somewhere between Victorville and Las Vegas, there's a stopwatch put in a bush over there, and I let that go. Was it hard for me to let go? It could have been, because I could have dwelled on the fact of how pretty it was. It was probably very expensive. I probably could have got a lot of money for it too. That's a whole nother aspect that I would never even do, but that was a whole nother aspect as well. And because it was his. And I could have made it hard, but instead I chose to listen to my intuition saying, you have to let it go. And after I let it go, I don't clearly remember now what changed, but after I let it go, a lot changed in a very positive way for me. And so let their belongings go, because holding on to those, you know, when you're told to, when you feel like you have to, because holding on to those is really keeping attachment to a non-existent time. Again, keeping you from truly existing, truly living in this present moment. Let's see, you cannot evolve while attached to the past. You cannot communicate with them in their new state of existence as long as you remain at the same low frequency of the earth that believes only in physical existence. You must change your perception of life to understand death and let go of the memories that are taking your life away. The reality of humanity must change by individual human beings choosing to let go of their memories that relate to their perception of self. One different decision made by one individual who chooses to change perception of self creates a new timeline for humanity to experience, creating a new reality, not only for themselves, but for humanity to experience collectively. So all of you that are here joining me right now, it's very important that you start to really take in what I'm saying and really try to do it, because each one of you that does this is actually going to create a new future for humanity. And what a beautiful thing to do. That's what we're here to do, right? So it's amazing how many people are here right now, because this is how many opportunities we have to create a new future for the entire human race, and they don't even know it. One different decision, I just read that. Let's see. If you're unwilling to let go of memories through possessions, this is very important. Let's listen to this. Unwilling to let go of memories through possessions. Every possession is an energetic attachment. The more possessions you have, the more energy is being taken from you. I actually speak about this in the chapter, I believe it's called The Human Brain. I don't remember which book it's in, but I speak about this and about Alzheimer's and dementia, the true root of it. The more possessions you have, the more energy is being taken from you. The energetic root of Alzheimer's and dementia is the refusal to let go of memories through possessions. It's an open door for low frequencies to exist, taking space in the human brain, leaving no space for new memories, no space for new, clear thoughts. So this is why a lot of people go downhill mentally, in conjunction with like the heavy metals that we consume and that destroy our brains, and the frequencies, the EMFs, the 5G towers, all these things in our external environment that affects our brains negatively. When we are choosing to hold on to memories and possessions, we are pulling energy from our brain and taking its natural ability to function away, which will eventually lead to its demise. That is the truth behind Alzheimer's and dementia. So there's never any medication that's going to actually cure this, like the choice to start letting go of memories through possessions will cure this. This is a real answer to curing those two diseases, but nobody wants to believe that yet. It'll be spoken about. You'll see. You'll be like, I remember when Shanna talked about that on Zoom. Let's see, where am I at? Okay, if you hold on to something, if you hold on to something, make sure that all memories attached to it are good. If you hold on to one time, you are holding on to all energy associated with that time, good and bad. So again, sometimes we like to, especially when we lose loved ones, we like to hold on to the good memories of them and pretend that those were the only memories that existed. And in doing that, you're keeping the energy of the bad that also existed part of you, because energy is energy. You cannot pick and choose, oh, well, I want to keep this part, but not this part. If you're keeping this part, you're keeping all of it, good and bad. So again, this is another way that good memories can negatively affect us, is by refusing to see that you are keeping the energy of that whole entire time, that whole entire relationship, that whole entire person. And it's easy, I did it myself when Kyle passed away, to focus on only the positives and, oh, what a great person he was. Oh, I lost this and I lost that. And my relationship with him, I'll never find that again. I did this myself in 2020. I was already 2 years into my journey and well aware of the truth, but I was still psyching myself out to only focus on and remember the positives. And it was like, he came to me and said, yo, like, you have to be honest with yourself. That wasn't the whole relationship. Like, you're lying to yourself because you're not accepting all of it. But by accepting part of it, you're keeping yourself attached to all of it. So this is very important. Another way that good memories can negatively affect us. If you hold on to the memory of one person, you are holding on to all the energy they carried in their physical life, good and bad. So again, you're remaining attached to them energetically, which means attached to everything they were physically. And unfortunately, where the human race is in its evolution, the foundation of who we are doesn't start out as good. You know, when we're adults and we start making these decisions and stuff. So when you're remaining attached to a person who has passed physically, you are remaining attached to their energy of when they physically existed. So kind of like how I say about sex, like if you don't want to be like somebody, you shouldn't allow them into your vessel. If you don't want to be like that person, 100%, all of their goods and bads, their angels and their demons, if you don't want all of that, you should not remain energetically attached to them. That's how important it is. Your perception of self is creating your reality and the collective reality of the world. Your perception of self is based upon your memories, conscious and subconscious. That is conscious memories and subconscious memories. To change the reality of the world, you must release old memories that created a certain perception of yourself. Look at the memories that created low self-esteem, shame, guilt, feeling like you're undeserving, no self-respect, no civil ways to communicate, violence, abuse considered discipline, perceived as love. It's all of these things we experienced and that we hold memories of that we need to let go so that we can start having a new perception of ourselves that is going to create a new world. Memories of the past versions of yourself. Oh, this is big too. Actually, before I get into this part, go ahead, Sandra. Go ahead and unmute yourself. I see your hand up.
Sorry, I forgot my hand was.
Oh,
So I still have a quick question. Is
Yeah.
it possible for more than one person to have had a mission to save us?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
When we don't allow one, another one will come. When we don't allow that one, another one will come. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because I feel like several people have came. Well, they're gone now,
Mhm.
but I didn't realize it until now.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely. It's very possible. And the fact that you're realizing that there's many shows you actually how important your awakening is to this earth.
Okay. I just didn't know if it was possible for more than one person. I was thinking
Absolutely.
maybe it's just me thinking like, oh yeah, come on now.
No,
but-
trust yourself in what you're thinking. Those thoughts
Okay.
are revealing to you. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Irene.
I had a question on the possessions, like the things that you have from people who have passed, right?
Yeah.
Like, if there isn't an emotional charge with that possession, like, is the memory still associated with it? You know, when you look at that possession, if you've let go, right, like from the earlier conversation of, you know, and there's no emotional charge there, is that still something that's draining your energy?
So ask yourself this question. If there's
Okay.
no emotional charge, then why is the need for the possession?
Because I like it. It's my dining room table. It was my grandmother's dining room table, but I love
Oh,
it. Like, it's
yeah.
that I love.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm
Okay.
saying, yeah, I'm answering just your answer directly. There's many different answers for everybody, obviously, but your answer right now is that that's fine. Yeah, that's okay. Sometimes though, sometimes dining room tables and things like that will have an energy that like you have to get rid of, but no, I'm seeing that that is fine.
So I think like also what you were saying that kind of, I was like, oh, that's a good way of looking at it. From, looking at the people that you sleep with is the
Mhm.
same, like, is that similarity?
Yes.
So maybe like tapping into that when I'm going to the different things I have from grandparents or whatever, like
Yes,
be like that
exactly.
grandparent and want that energy.
Yeah. And if they're ever, again, just trust yourself. There's no rules. So if you
Right.
ever at any moment feel like, I do need to get rid of it for whatever reason, just listen to it. And
Okay.
or if you don't listen to it, you'll start seeing things and feeling things, and you'll start seeing why you have to. But until you get that for yourself, then it should be fine. Again, just listen to yourself with these.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Go ahead, Camila.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, so my question is because mine is a more so a memory.
Mhm.
It's something I was told in a dream,
Mhm.
just about a past partner and everything.
Mhm.
How do I get over betrayal? Because I was told in a dream, this person, he came to me and admitted that he was unfaithful and whatever.
Mhm.
And the dream felt so real, so I know it's true.
Right.
How can I move forward a betrayal that wasn't admitted to me and doesn't really feel like a memory, but I know it's true?
Yes. Again, I had to do this with Kyle as well because I found things out about him after he passed, even from other people too. And the
Mm.
easiest way is just to remember that nobody was obligated to be faithful to you. Nobody was obligated, nobody was obligated to play a certain role in your life. Nobody is obligated to be what you think they should be. Just because you're that person doesn't mean that everybody's obligated to be that person. Once you really have this deep understanding of humanity, it's so much easier to let go of the feelings that come with betrayal and disappointment and pain in betrayal, is to remember that they never owed you anything else besides what they give themselves. Anyone who can betray you and not be honest with you is first betraying and being dishonest with themselves. And so you have to allow them to do that, love them for doing that, and detach from any of the emotions they're bringing you from defining you.
So realize it was never about me. So why would he come and tell me that? Why would he bring it to me then?
In your dream,
Yeah.
because that's your highest self revealing to you. This is your connection with creation. This is your protection. This is showing
Oh,
you, hey, this is the answer. Do what you may with it. That's your higher self guiding you. Remember, everything that we're shown in dreams and visions and things there, it's real, and it's pertaining to something in this life. We really have to look at it like that. And 98% of the time, it's your protection. It's revealing. Yeah,
okay. Thank you.
you're very welcome. Go ahead, Chantel. And then after
Hi,
Chantel, I'll
everybody.
continue on with the notes.
How are you?
I'm good,
Quick,
thank you.
I have a question. I just recently moved in a new place,
Mhm.
and I've been downsizing from material possession for the past 2 years, like a lot. But the place I moved in, the arrangement I took, the lady had dementia, like a severe case of dementia, and all of her stuff is still in the place. I packed it and everything is filled. Like I have 2 bedroom set. I have everything in double and even more. Does that affect my energy?
Do you feel like it's affecting your energy?
Yeah.
Then it is. It's that simple. If you're feeling more drained, more down, more like you're fighting for peace and fighting for love and
I found
fighting
like I
for,
regressed. Yeah.
then there it is. It's the possessions, because every possession possesses an energy. And the fact that you moved into that space, it's kind of like you've been consumed with all of this energy that is not your own. And so, yeah, you have to really make a decision based upon that fact.
Yeah. So even if it's not my own stuff, it
Oh,
still
absolutely.
affects my energy.
Absolutely.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Even I can use an example too. I'm at my mom's house and she has a lot of stuff. And
Yeah.
maybe like last year, the stuff really, really affected me. But I was being given an opportunity. So here's also another thing is I was being given an opportunity to rise within myself and say, it can only affect me if I allow it to. And so what I chose to do is I chose to push through the fatigue and push through everything that I knew wasn't mine, and continue to, I would just leave, I still leave and go write like at Starbucks or something, so that I can have my own space. But yeah, it's again, just evaluate all sides of it. This can be maybe an opportunity for you to prove to yourself that you can rise above it and that it's not more powerful than you, but you have to take action to prove that. You know, you have to do something, you have to take
I
action.
think I'm being pushed to leave, just
Yeah.
leave Montreal.
This is the first thing that I felt for you. Yeah. But so listen to that. There's your answer.
Time
right
to
there.
leave,
Yeah. There's your answer.
to go heal somewhere else, because I get stuck also in memories and I'm about to cry.
Cry, allow yourself to cry. This is healing.
I was
Yeah.
in a toxic relationship for years, but you know what? I forgave him because I understand the root of it and everything. And I'm still in the same area. And I wonder if I don't manifest them, like just by thinking or associating little things on the restaurant we used to go, the park I used to go.
Oh
And I
yeah.
live in the same area constantly. So I constantly have a reminder.
Absolutely. It's time to leave. Go somewhere where do
I can
opposite of
get peace.
what Cheers says. Cheers says sometimes you gotta go where everybody knows your name. No, go somewhere where nobody knows your name.
Nobody knows. Yeah, I think it's time now for me to leave it for a while and
Go somewhere where
come
nobody
back.
expects nothing of you, where there is no memories. Go there, do this. This is your next step. It's gonna be big for you.
Thank you.
You're very
I love
welcome.
you.
Thank you for sharing that. I love you too. All right, I'm gonna continue on with these so that we can have time at the end to talk too, because I have something really cool at the end to talk about that's like new that nobody's really talking about yet. So let's see. Okay, so this is the important one too. Memories of the past versions of yourself to share the story of your triumphs must also be let go. So, you know, we're all changing and transforming. So you could be like, oh, I used to be like this and I used to be like that. And I overcame this and I overcame that. We also have to let go of our triumphs. As much as we are proud of them, obviously be proud of yourself, pat yourself on the back, be proud of your evolution, but do not rest in the definition of your existence upon your triumphs, because that is also keeping you in the energy of the victim state that you once played, or any state of existence that you once lived in. You will remain attached to that energy subconsciously if you are constantly defining yourself by a triumphant, you know, a valiant rise over that time. So there's a lot of, you know, when I go speak places, people always want me to talk about where I came from and this and that. And maybe I'll touch on it here and there, but very rarely I do, because that's not me anymore. I don't even feel, you know, it's not even what I want to talk about. I want to talk with people about what they're capable of and like the truth of who they are and what's available to them. I don't want to talk about where I came from, because I let that go. And this is what creation is asking you to let that go, so that you can detach from all energetic states you existed in those times. It's really cool. Let's see. Yeah, to consistently introduce yourself by the triumphs over your past traumas keeps you defined by your past traumas, keeping you energetically existent in a victim state. The only way to rise into the warrior state is to let go of the memories where you were a victim. Ooh, that's big. The only way to become a warrior is to let go of the memories when you were a victim. It's time, guys. It's time to rise above our triumphs so that we can now step into a new level of triumph that is a higher version of peace within ourselves, and a space to allow ourselves to become new, to remember who we really are. That is the becoming new, is simply a remembrance of who we've always been. Science should not be looked to for humanity's salvation in accordance with the brain and memory recollection. To allow man-made science and technology to enter the divine space and manipulate the divine wiring of the human brain is to accept the manipulation of humanity's future. So science is trying to get into people's memories and get into people's dreams, into people's memories. This is going to manipulate the very state of humanity. So this cannot be accepted and this cannot be embarked on. Like, don't ever get to a point where you want to know your memory so bad that you allow science to enter the divine space of your brain. Not going to happen. It's dangerous, very dangerous territory, actually. Plant medicine should not be looked to for humanity's salvation in accordance with the brain and memory recollection. The interference of old ways of spirituality and connection to the divine will take the human being down a path that is unnatural in its current healing process in this current lifetime. Again, going back to, you can't look at a map from 5,000 years ago to guide you on the streets today. Same with spirituality and enlightenment. We cannot look to teachings from 5,000 years ago to guide us down our true path of consciousness in this current lifetime, because it's two different energies, two different things. This is dangerous. Okay, I put also plant medicine. This is dangerous because it will reveal things that the mind and soul are not ready to address in order to heal naturally. This will cause people to go crazy. This will cause confusion. This will cause hysteria because they will see the truth way before they were supposed to genuinely, divinely see and understand the truth. So that should not be used to try and recall memories. Hypnosis should not be looked to for humanity's salvation in accordance with the brain and memory recollection. To grant, listen to this, to grant another access to the subconscious mind is dangerous. When you're going under hypnosis, you are allowing one to guide you to a subconscious state, to an unconscious state, which allows them to interact with your subconscious mind. If this is not a person who, again, you want to be like, you shall not allow them to enter your subconscious mind in an unconscious state that is hypnosis. Allowing them to access your subconscious mind is allowing them to manipulate the foundation of your conscious mind. This is all energy. So it's not like they're sitting there like Pinky in the brain going, oh, I'm going to control her thoughts. They don't have to do that. It's all energy. Their energy will naturally meet with yours in an unconscious state, which will affect your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is creating your reality. So now if you allow another person into this place, you are allowing yourself to create a reality that is not even your own. It comes from another person's energy, another person's foundation. This is why it's so important to really remember it's just you. It's just you and your highest self that can do this work genuinely in such a divine timing. You would then create a reality based upon the energy of another. Hypnosis is equivalent to the dream state. Subconscious thoughts can be laid there, influencing conscious thoughts, creating an unnatural reality. In the state of hypnosis, the subconscious door is open to all existent energies in creation and has no protection. So in love, when your subconscious is revealing itself in the energy of love, that is naturally, your subconscious is protected. The door is only being opened to creation, period. When you do things like hypnosis, the door to your subconscious is being open to all existent energies, not just creation. And this is why there's so much problem in the world right now that came with spirituality and everything, and that created such a dark space in the spiritual world, is because people are opening the doors to their subconscious in an unnatural way that is allowing all energies access to the subconscious, not just creation. The memories that are recalled in this forced state can be destructive to the conscious mind, creating a destructive physical reality. The subconscious is aligned with all dimensions beyond the physical. Therefore, it must be protected or it will be controlled. Love is the protection of the subconscious mind. Memories will keep repetitive realities alive. That is the destruction of humanity. Memories don't allow new realities to exist, just repeat. And that's why we have to let them go, so that we can stop repeating these realities that humanity has done for millions of years, not just thousands, millions. In hypnosis, memories accessed subconsciously will still not remove them. So if you do, hypnosis and things like that, or plant medicine, and you access these subconscious memories, just because you access them doesn't mean that you're actually doing the work to remove them. So Again, it's still not the answer. The answer is a conscious choice to do this work. And then I put here, you cannot do subconscious work while the conscious mind is altered. That is not genuine healing. It's not genuine evolution. It's not genuine change. It will not create a genuine love for yourself. When you alter your conscious mind to access subconscious memories, you are still not doing the work to release those memories. That has to be a conscious choice. Memories will allow a non-existent time to control the current timeline. This is why humanity continues to repeat the cycle of destruction, creating the same timelines as the past over and over again, because they refuse to let go of the old stories of destruction. So the same as humanity has done, we are doing with ourselves too. We refuse to let go of our old stories of destruction. We will create the same timelines as previously existed that created that destruction. Again, why very important to let these things go. Artists creating from memories. I put right here, I don't know where I got this from, but it just came just straight. We should never create from memory. This will guarantee a recreation of that memory in a different way. So poets, for example, I have a poem called The Poet, and it's speaking about how as artists, we need to stop allowing our pain and our trauma to define our art infinitely. Art is a way for us to release our pain and trauma. So yes, the beginning of our creativity will be painful and traumatic because that's how we release it from ourselves physically. But there should come a point where your art is a reflection of what you feel inside that is no longer painful and traumatic. And this is why it's very important not to create from memory after a certain time. In the beginning, you always do create from memory because that's how we release it. But there should come a point where you're no longer creating from memory so that you can allow new spaces to be envisioned. We must allow new feelings to be felt. The truth of this life is that a past feeling can never be felt again, no matter how hard you try to create that scenario, recreate that scenario. Because energy, this is very important right here, because energy is infinitely expanding, you at the core of your existence is infinitely changing state, whether you realize it or not. This means that it is impossible to exist at the same energy you did yesterday. This is what to try to exist at the same energy as you did yesterday, to try and be that same person, to try and be a certain person is what creates stress, suffering, depression, etc. You have to allow yourself to become new. Every new day, you are new energetically, which presents an opportunity to make new decisions, feel new ways, and create new futures. To create from memory will create a repeat of what was already felt, but never in the same way. If it was a bad memory, it may become worse the more you recreate it through memory, which is why you have to let it go. If it was a good memory, it can still create a feeling of unfulfillment because it will never feel the same as the first time. That will bring disappointment that comes with the expectation of feeling a certain way again. I kind of talked about that already in the beginning. Creating from memory, good or bad, keeps you from actually living. The present is the only real time. If you aren't living there, you are just existing and just repeating. New places must be envisioned. You can only experience new places when you allow yourself to be a new person every new day. New energy through new people to enter your life. You can only attract new people into your life by allowing yourself to become new every day. So literally, your reality is based on your allowance to become new every day. Very important. You can only become new when you let go of the memories of the old. If you don't become new every day, talking about attracting people into your life, you will continue to attract the same people and the same situations that have repeated themselves throughout your life by not letting go of the memory of who you once were and ways that you felt in the past. And the refusal to release memories opens a door. Oh, this is very important too. I'm going to share a quick story with you guys about this. The refusal to release memories opens a door for evil, which is fear, to disguise itself in the subconscious as a memory, giving space for darkness to exist within. This is how lower frequency entities have space to remain in your space. You cannot transform darkness if you possess it in your subconscious through memories you're unwilling to let go of. So remember, memories subconsciously bring suffering through that time. Anything that brings an emotion opposite of love is fear. This is what creates space for fear, that is darkness, that is evil, to exist in your subconscious. So you can't truly transform darkness or fear if you're still existing in it subconsciously by not letting go of what you can consciously. Does this make sense? It's a lot. It goes deep, but if you can understand this, that's why I offer my notes. That way you can look back at them as much as you can and watch the video as much as you can, because it goes deep. And even if you don't understand all of it right now, you will at the moment that you're supposed to. Just have trust in that with everything that I speak. If you don't have to understand everything right when I speak it, but have faith that it'll make sense right when it's supposed to for you. Okay, so this next little part right here, it's just this little part. Oh, I was going to share a story about this. Actually, no, I'm not going to, because it kind of doesn't go with it right now where we're at. Okay, so this next little part right here is part of love part 5. So this hasn't been spoken about or written or anything. I'm doing it right now. So that's why I'm only making a little part of it available. Again, like I explained the whole copyright thing, I don't want to give people too much before I publish it. But it says the subconscious can be controlled if it is not protected by trust in yourself. So trust in yourself is where your subconscious is protected. If you are in an unconscious state, if you're altering your conscious mind, you cannot consciously trust yourself. So do you see how that it removes protection from your subconscious? An idea simply needs to be spoken about in your presence to take a seat in your subconscious mind, even in your waking hours. Now, knowing that, look at how many things you allow yourself to listen to in a day. This is why it's very important to stop listening. It's very important to get off of social medias, because every thought is taking a seat into your subconscious mind, whether you agree with it or not. This is how, this is the depth of the subconscious. So now people are planting seeds in your subconscious that is now going to create the foundation in which you are making decisions that is creating your reality, again, from the information someone else is giving you. So if this, well, I get to that in the next point here. Those in control know this. That is why they allow all of the information to be spoken of conspiracy theories and spirituality, because without the foundation of truth behind all of that information, it will plant seeds of information that creates anger, fear, and confusion, which then energetically helps you in creating a reality of anger, fear, and confusion. Ideas must be presented for the person to then project the idea from their perception so that it becomes their own idea. This is the foundation of collective consciousness. This is why it is so important to detach yourself from outside information, because it's very powerful. This is why we've created this reality, is because it hasn't been our own creation. It has been planted, it has been seeded, and we never knew it. You continue to be told ideas of the future and the truth of humanity, but are those ideas creating a peaceful reality? And that's the only question you have to ask yourself when you're receiving information from somebody. Is this information giving you hope in life? Is this information giving you purpose? And is this information making you feel like you have the ability to create a peaceful, beautiful future? If it's not, then it should be disregarded and should probably stop being listened to, because this is taking a seat in your subconscious mind that is creating your reality. And then at the end here, I say memories are the foundation of life and should not be held onto, but experienced. Experiences are life. Every experience is life, because it is the present moment. Every experience is the first time. So every feeling, every moment, everything that brings you joy should be experienced in that moment, but not held onto as a foundation of what to try and experience again. And in gratitude, I say memories should be experienced in gratitude and released to create new room for new memories that would lead to a new reality. And that is the end of my notes. Did everybody, how was this? You can unmute yourselves and yeah. I just want to know, did this help you guys understand
Big
how
time.
important it
Yeah.
is
Absolutely.
to let these things go? Cool. Okay. Are there any more questions? Any input? No? Well, look at that. When there's not a whole bunch of hands up, that tells me like I went in depth with that. That's good. That's a good sign. Well, then since we have a little moment, I wanted to, Mike, are you there? Oh yeah. Wait, unmute yourself. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, there you, oh, and then look at, you're even wearing your one of one shirt. So Mike bought a shirt that I made for him that was just a one of one. I didn't even sell those ones, and he's wearing that right now. So I wanted to, okay, unmute yourselves, guys, because I want us to clap for Mike for a reason, and I'll tell you why. But I want to record the claps. So unmute yourselves. Allow yourselves to be heard, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. All right. So Mr. Mike, I just wanted to wait, where's he? Oh, okay, he's right there. So Mr. Mike, I just want everybody to thank Mike because, and I'm gonna cry, of course, these are great cries, because without his generosity, I wouldn't be able to be completing my work right now. He gifted me a computer because mine broke in Germany. He gifted me a computer, which was amazing, a MacBook. And
Do you need to stop at the liquor store?
and then that MacBook was having like issues. That MacBook was having like issues. So then I messaged him. I was like, hey, Mike, I'm just gonna go back to Adele because this one's having issues and you can get your money back for this one or whatever. And do you know what Mike said? Mike said, no, here, send it back. I'm gonna send you the code, send it back. He was like, and I'm gonna get you a brand new one. And I was like, I could go to get Adele. And he was like, nah. So he purchased me a brand new MacBook. This is it right here. And this little thing is a beast. Yeah, I'm getting so much more done because my workflow is so much faster between iPhone, iPad, and MacBook. So I want everybody to clap for Mike.
Yay, Mike!
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
And then too, I want everybody to clap for themselves. Again, more emotion, because I've received so much support through this. You guys have gifted me and thanked me and just really are making different decisions in your own lives. And I mean, just thank you. I want to thank you guys for everything that you've given me and for continuing to show up and continuing to want to be new. It's a beautiful thing. So clap for yourselves.
Yeah.
And I thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I mean, there's really no other words that I can say besides I hope you feel my level of gratitude because words can't really explain it actually.
We love you.
We love you, Shauna.
Love you, Shauna.
Love you, Shauna.
I love all of you.
Love you guys.
You have questions on the bottom. Like I don't know if you could see the chat on the bottom.
Okay, let me see. Thank you, Betty. My opinion about tarot card reading. Oh man, that goes way back. I've been speaking about that for like 5 years. Don't do it. Only because whoever's reading the tarot cards, and I can speak about this because I purchased tarot cards at the beginning of my journey, and I knew how to read them like by myself without even practicing. I was like, oh, I can read these effortlessly, which showed me it was a part of me. It's a part of us. It's an ability we have. But what I learned very quickly in my own reading of them for myself is that I was becoming dependent on those answers. I was then basing my decisions and my actions on what the tarot card said was going to happen. And I was like, well, this doesn't feel right because nothing felt like it was actually going like it was supposed to. And then I felt like, oh, I'm in a battle today. So then I acted like I was in a battle today. And then I realized this is not what we're supposed to be depending on, because how can I allow my true higher self to speak? How I was ignoring my intuition to make decisions based on what the tarot card said was going to happen. And so that's one aspect of it. Then the other aspect is, if you go to somebody to have them read your cards, they can only receive answers at the frequency they exist at. So the truth of this life is, nobody actually, you don't know who anyone actually is, because there's many people pretending at this point of our evolution. And so the future that they're reading to you, the cards that they're reading to you, are at a frequency that they can see at the frequency they exist at. So that doesn't mean they're reading to you what your highest potential is. They're not reading to you your highest self, your best potential, your best interest. They're reading to you only what's being given to them at their frequency. And because you don't know the depths of people, you will never actually know the depths of the reading they're giving you. And it's very easy for us to be like, oh, that's true. Oh, that's true. Oh, that's true. But just because it's true doesn't mean that that's the only future that you are here to create for yourself. So I highly speak against, I don't like using the word against, but I mean, I can't really think of another word to use, but I highly speak against really embarking on that journey. And if you have, cool, you have an opportunity to stop whenever you want to, if you want to. But just know that there's a lot involved in it that is not necessary for us to actually evolve here. And it can actually be a great disservice and interrupt our communication with our highest self. I've done hypnosis in the past. Can we undo that? Can we change that program? Yeah, you can do anything at any moment you choose to. So if you've had hypnosis done, don't fear it. Again, back to my original message is, don't fear anything that you've already done, but rather make the decision to now make a conscious decision to address things in a different way. And don't fear it. Ask your higher self, ask the universe, ask the angels, whoever you want to ask. It's all you. Ask that all of that energy that you accepted within yourself when you were having that done, to be disconnected from it, to detach from it. And that will detach you from it and create a new space for you to start over. So don't fear any of it, just redo it, make a different decision, and that's it. And then, let's see, I love you guys. If I choose to sell the possessions I want to let go of, would that actually release the memories, or would they still be here through the money I've gotten from them? Great question. They will still be there from the money you've gotten from them. These are things we have to let go of with no compensation for them. This has to be a genuine, divine release. Like I said, that pocket watch that I was talking about, I know that thing's worth a lot of money. I could have easily, and it was at a time where I had like $0. I could have easily used that money, but my intuition said, absolutely not. You have to release this in a higher, a more divine way, rather than that monetary way. So yes, that's a great question. Your thoughts on Reiki? Don't do it. Again, it is an energy exchange. And if you do not know a person, the depths of them, you don't know what you're allowing into your physical vessel. And yeah, I don't recommend Reiki healing to anybody. I've actually seen more possession through Reiki healing than I have actual healing through Reiki healing. I've experienced possession through Reiki healing. At the beginning of my journey, I had a Reiki healer come to my house, and I took so much evil from him that my dog wouldn't come near me. So I had to release myself from that. And that's when I learned, don't allow it. You're literally allowing another's energy into your space. And if you don't know their energy, again, people can pretend. If you don't know their energy, you don't want to allow it within you. You can heal yourself. We can consciously heal ourselves. If you were the only person on this earth, how would you heal yourself? Think of it that way. Acupuncture. I don't really know too much about acupuncture. It's not really coming to me right now that it's ever been really like a negative thing. I think that's more of a healing through like a physical way. So right now, I'm not receiving anything negative about acupuncture. So I think that that's fine. That has more to do with the physical body. And I think that that's okay, is what I'm being shown right now. Massage and chiropractic, those are fine. But what we have to remember is if we're having to base our physical wellness on massage and chiropractic work, there are some things that we're not genuinely actually healing within our physical body. Again, going back to that one question, if massage and chiropractic work wasn't available, how would I feel better? And a lot of pain that we have in our body comes with unreleased emotions. Massage, we have a lot of tension that again comes with holding energy, not letting it go. When you allow yourself to cry, that can actually heal you more than a massage or chiropractic work. When you allow yourself to stretch and to move, how we talked about in the body movement workshop, that can heal you more than massage or chiropractic work. So those things are temporary answers, but if you want genuine freedom from pain and these kind of things, you have to do internal work that will manifest outwardly into the physical body. Does that make sense? Migraines. Actually, right now, a lot of people are experiencing migraines, and that is because there's a huge energy shift taking place on Earth right now. Huge, like very huge. I don't even bother going on TikTok and speaking about it because so many people are speaking just stuff that they're just reading from other people and hearing from other people, but such a huge energy shift that many are being communicated with. So remember in that body one, I talked about the chakras, or I think it was the sex one I talked about. The third eye is here and the crown is here. These are the two where we receive our direct communication from creation. This is directly affected to the migraines and headaches that you are feeling right now. So when we start looking at illness and discomfort and physicalities as an energy exchange, rather than an illness or an ailment, it will make it easier to receive it and to not dwell on it as painful, but rather say, maybe I need to go lay down so that I can receive what's trying to be given to me. There's so much coming through to us right now that it feels like pressure, especially here and here. Sometimes that pressure will be here. When you feel that, don't perceive it as an ailment or something wrong with you, but rather creation's trying to communicate with you. And if you can, allow yourself space to rest, to go to sleep, take a nap if you need to, and really write down what's coming to you, because it's coming to you for a reason. You're experiencing this pain and pressure for a reason. Let me go to Fabiola. You've had your hand up for a minute. Go ahead.
We just want to say hi. You had like a little guest right here.
I see him. Hello, Sunshine.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
He has been joining like for 2 or 3 Zooms before. So
and I haven't even announced it to you guys yet. I'm going to be having a children's workshop too in May. I haven't announced it. So we can have children of all ages on here. It's really necessary. It's going to be beautiful. So go ahead.
So here we have Leo, and the other 2 are already sleeping because here is almost 11. So, but anyways, I'm very happy that you're gonna have a Zoom for the kids, because I know they will listen.
Yes.
Do you want to say something?
No.
No.
Oh, were you just raising your hand just to say hi to me, Leo?
Yeah.
Well, hi. Everybody wave to Leo and say hi to Leo.
Hi,
Hi,
Leo.
Leo.
Hi, Leo.
Can't wait to see you at the children. Thank you for being here with us.
You're welcome.
And maybe I'll see you next time I go to Florida. Not maybe. I'll see you guys next time I go to Florida. How about that?
I know. Soon.
Too.
All right. Thank you, Fabi.
Thanks.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Anita Bonita.
Hey, okay. So you're talking about pressure. So that's what I've been feeling like, I want to say now, like 2 weeks, like pressure and pressure here, and like everything is fine. So you're saying it's like the shift of
It's energy.
Energy shift. Okay. And then I also feel like I start feeling feelings, but like if they're a memory of a feeling. Do you know? And I'm like, okay, this is familiar, but I'm not there no more. Why am I feeling this way? Like I've overcame that. Why is it coming? And then today I had an aha moment. because I was thinking about something,
Mhm.
and then I was like, wait, but they're not the problem. I have to think about what is it that I'm feeling.
Yes.
Like,
So
I'm so easy to
sometimes,
blame somebody, but then I'm thinking, but how is it then when it's not their brain?
right, yeah, that's the easiest way to think about it, right? Like they're not
It's
infiltrating my brain, it's my brain. That's a
and
a
it's
really good way to think about it. But sometimes you will feel that memory of a feeling like you were talking about. All that is an opportunity for you to say what you just said, like, no, that's not me anymore. I don't feel it, and let it go. That's it. Sometimes things come as glimpses to us simply to give us an opportunity to choose fear of that again, or to say, no, that doesn't define me anymore. Move on. It's that simple. We will always, that is the journey, is we will always be presented opportunities to choose if we're gonna move past something or fear it, move past something or remain in the definition of it. So what
yeah.
I'm seeing for you is that's the only reason you're receiving those, is to see like, are you really over it though? And if you really are, then cool, let it go, move on, and then it won't keep coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
the
yeah. I
pressure,
wanted to just
it's
bring it
just
up.
information that's coming through here. Don't, if you guys feel a headache, don't dwell on it like, oh my God, the pain, oh my God, you're gonna make it worse.
No,
When
yeah.
feel it and be like, okay, creation is trying to speak to me. Cool. I'm going to allow creation to flow through me. Creation has to connect with our human body. And sometimes that comes in an uncomfortable way. But I was always from the beginning willing to take the discomfort if it meant creation was going to fill my body. That's how I looked at it. And that's what changed my perception of every negative feeling that comes with evolving, is I perceived it as evolving. So like, hey,
So when I feel that, best suggestion would be like write down or try to see like what message is trying to come in,
no, don't
or
force
just
anything.
let it flow.
Just
Let it
understand that you're a vessel of creation here, and that creation is using you to be the
hold
presence of
on,
it.
dab
Yeah,
creation.
creation is using you to be a presence of it. So just let it go. Don't try to dwell or focus or try to figure it out. Just accept it.
Okay, thank you
Acceptance
for that. Because I
is,
like to hyper focus. I'm like, ooh, hyper focus. Like
no,
if it's
yeah,
like,
don't do that, because that'll take all the joy out of this journey. It will.
all right. Thank you, Shauna. I
You're
love
welcome.
you,
I
girl.
love you. Thank you. Let me read over here real quick before we get off. Let's see. Possessions and memories of a living person. Would everything apply the same as letting go? Absolutely. Absolutely. A memory is a memory. So everything that I spoke about, the ones who have passed, the same thing applies to ones who are still living that maybe aren't in our lives anymore. So going back to Kyle, before he physically passed, I had to also, he was still here. I had to mourn our relationship. I had to mourn that version of myself that was in a relationship with him, because I no longer wanted to be attached to that time, to that energy, to that presence, to the happiness or the sadness, because all of it was one. Everything is one thing. Once you have that very clear understanding that everything is one thing, you will understand that there's no rules. There's just simply one choice, and that is to choose you and what keeps you from suffering. You let it go. So I hope that answered. How do you let go of something when you thought of it to be your purpose? For example, I thought creative writing was for me. I got rid of my past works, but until now I can't write as before, and I'm still hoping it could still be my purpose. If creative writing was shown to you as being your purpose, then it is. But what we have to do is let go of how we think we are to bring that plan to fruition. So I seen very early on that I'm going to be an author of a lot of books, right? So after I published my first book, I moved to Houston, and I didn't sell nothing. Like, I gave away more books than I sold. Well, I mean, I sold some, but not hardly anything. But I gave away more books than I sold, because I was like, I wrote this so that people can have truth, not so that I can make, a living off of it. But if I, for example, saw my purpose only as being an author, I would have really fallen into a bad place of not being accomplished, of failure, of, oh my God, how am I going to survive? I'm not making any money off of this. So instead, what I did was I said, okay, writing is a part of my journey, a part of my purpose, but what else am I here to do? So maybe you're not creatively writing right now because your highest self is calling you to let go of that one purpose so that you can see the grand picture of your many purposes here. And things sometimes will be taken from you so that you can embark on new things to learn new versions of yourself. My computer, for example, broke in Germany, barely got working on like a real good functional computer right now, last Saturday. So I went about 2 months without being able to actually work and without being able to write. What that time did was reminded me, Shanna, you're still here as a human being that has your own wants and needs to enjoy life as well. So who are you if you're not an author? Who are you if you're not a speaker? Who are you if you're not always creating something to share with the world? And that really brought me to a space of just enjoying my life. So y'all seen me in Germany. I was out there on stage. I was enjoying my life because of my computer got taken away from me. So if something's not coming effortlessly and naturally, it's an opportunity for you to see what else you're capable of. And you're capable of a lot, just know that. And you're always here from the Philippines, girl. Give it up for her because she's always here from the Philippines. I don't even know what time it is over there, but I know it ain't a normal time of day, I don't think. All right, and then you're very welcome for that confirmation. And yeah, we're about to wrap it up. Does anybody want to say anything before we go?
Shanna, I have a question at night.
Yeah.
So, how you doing? So a lot of times when I wake up in the morning, I feel so tense, and I know I like have so much tension in my face. I wake up and I feel like I've scrunched my face all night and I clench, but a lot of times I can't associate it with anything. Like, what do we go through at night that there's so much?
We also are awake in the night. Our subconscious is awake, and that's when we exist in other dimensions. And we also do work in the night. I joke with my mom. My mom actually is like the only person that witnesses this with me, but like I really don't ever sleep. And I'm always like, well, not always. Sometimes I rest a lot. I sleep a lot sometimes, but I'm usually very high energy and I don't sleep. Like this whole week, I'm going, I'm grooving. And I only get maybe like 4 or 5 hours of sleep at night because I
wake
can't.
up like,
Hopping around in my bed and stuff like a fish. But the first thing that came to me when you started talking was to ask you, are you stretching? Because what I see is there's a lot of tension buildup, that it's a lot of energy that needs to move through you. And so stretching is going to be what's going to help you through this whole tension thing. Is there's work that you're doing in other dimensions that maybe you're not remembering or seeing right now, but you'll be shown what you're doing. And if you have dreams or visions of stuff, even in waking hours, we can have visions. And those are the truth being shown to us. Write them down so that you can see what work you're actually doing while you're asleep. But stretching is going to be big for you. If you can allow yourself time, wake up maybe a little earlier so that you can give yourself time to do some stretching. Stretch also before you go to bed. I do morning and night because I'm always working. So I stretch morning and night. Sometimes I have to stretch also during the day. I just listen to it. I don't set a routine. I just listen. So that tension needs to be released with stretching.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, kind of like how I told Anna, is don't worry about having to figure it all out at the moment, but rather stretch, give yourself silence in that stretching with intention of releasing, and you'll be shown what you need to be shown right when you need to be shown.
All right. I must be doing a real lot at night because
you are. Yeah, we do. In the beginning of our journey, we do a lot. Yeah, so if you wake up very tired and stuff, just don't perceive anything as normal. Just perceive it as, or how we're normally taught, like, oh, you need more sleep. Nah, you're just doing a lot of things that we were never taught we do.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, guys, I'm gonna let everybody go. Let me do my weekly wave. Everybody unmute yourself so I can say goodbye and say I love you. Also, the new website is up. I worked on that thing all day yesterday. I'm very proud of it. It's very the basics of what I can do. So it'll always change and I always have new things available, but really try and interact with that a lot. I'm gonna announce it that everybody who has subscribed to, to be included in these, I'm gonna ask you guys all to go to the website and reserve through there. You'll see the little box that says reserve. Do that because I have it set up to where now it allows me so much more organization where I don't have to do everything manually. I can just grab all of you guys. I can send you all one thing. It just helps me out a lot. So if you can reserve through there, through the website, I would really appreciate that. I'm trying to step away from the WP, the Gmail. I'm trying to step away from incorporating that for work. Just keeping that my personal like it was. So if you guys can help me with that, do that. Also, always keep an eye on my website because different events will be up there. I'll have stuff up there that I haven't even announced yet. So yeah, it's really cool. And yeah, just lots of stuff to come with that. So thank you guys. And let me pull up my little video. Is everybody's microphone on? Come on, let's turn on microphones, guys. I want to hear your voices.
Okay, we're here.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. All right,
Hello.
everybody. Thank you. I love you.
I love you,
Thank
Shauna.
you.
Oh, let me go to the
Love
next
you
one.
all. Love you, Shauna.
Good night,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone. See you
Take care.
later.
Love you guys. Thank you for
Love you.
everything.
Love you all. Thank you. I love you all.
Bye.
We
Have
love
a
All
you,
good
right,
night.
guys.
I
So
love
that's
you.
it. We're
I love
gonna
you
end
all.
tonight and we have one more next week until May, okay? Thank you all for being here. Thank you for everything you're doing, and I love you.
Love you.
Thank you.
Oh, also, the PDFs of my outlines and my notes, they're all on my computer too. You can download them straight from there. Yes, and then if you request the videos, if you want the videos, you can do them through the contact me on the website as well. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Love you
Okay,
guys.
perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
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 Bye.